Hello everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to dive into the shocking truth behind how someone inside Alex's trusted circle secretly helped a scam destroy his company, and whether Tuna will stay silent or be the one to bring everything into the light. If you find this story interesting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the next videos. On his way out of the building, Alex didn't head straight for his car. Instead, he stopped in the parking lot and leaned against the hood, eyes fixed on the glass doors like he was waiting for the next scene of a movie to start. A few minutes later, Mai walked out with two colleagues, chatting and laughing, looking like any other office worker at the end of a long day. Nothing about her said problem or traitor at first glance. She was just Mai, familiar. And that contrast made the knot in Alex's chest pull tighter. When her colleagues split off toward their bikes, Alex pulled out his phone and called her. The ringtone floated faintly across the lot. Mai checked the screen, paused when she saw his name, then turned and made her way toward him, stopping at a cautious distance, as if she already sensed this wasn't a casual chat. "What's going on?" she asked, voice light, but her eyes were already studying his face. Alex kept his tone calm, but there was steel under it. "I just need to ask you something straight," he said. "Why did you meet the guy from Sigma Corp before any contract was signed? And why are draft documents being sent out from your personal account? I wanted to hear it from you before I start drawing my own conclusions." For a moment, something flickered in her expression, a flash of surprise, or guilt, or fear. Then it smoothed out. She gave him a small, tired smile. "You're mistaken, Alex," she said. "You've been under a lot of pressure. Maybe you're connecting dots that aren't really there. You should be careful about accusing people of things like this." "I am being careful," he replied, eyes steady. "That's why I'm not accusing you. I'm asking you." Silence settled between them. Cars rolled past in the background. Someone laughed across the street. The sky above the lot deepened into that in-between color between blue and night. Mai looked up at it, then back at him, as if she was trying to decide which reality she wanted to stand in. "You've changed," she said quietly. "No," Alex said. "I've learned." He could have pushed. He could have pulled out screenshots, bank records, photos, and pinned her right there under the streetlight. But he knew if he cornered her now, all she would do was shut down, deny harder, retreat. So he held back. He gave her one small nod, stepped away from the car, and walked off, leaving her alone in the glow of the parking lot lights, the question still hanging between them. That night, his apartment felt off. Not messy, not chaotic. The opposite. Too clean, too quiet. Like it had been staged for someone else's life. Alex set a thick envelope down in the middle of the dining table. Inside were photos, transaction logs, email printouts, proof that what had happened to his company wasn't just bad luck, but something designed. He didn't sit right away. Instead, he went to the bathroom and turned the tap on, letting the water run over his hands. There was no music playing, no TV humming in the background, not even the whistle of a boiling kettle. Just the sound of water and his own breathing, something simple to keep him grounded. A knock came at the door. When Alex opened it, Tuna was standing there. Her hair was slightly windblown, her expression focused. She stepped inside quietly, set her bag down, and let her gaze drift to the envelope on the table. She didn't move toward it. She didn't demand answers. "You're carrying something heavy today," she said softly. Alex gave a small nod. If there was anyone he didn't want to shut out, it was her. So for once, he didn't water anything down. He sat with her at the table and laid out the story in a clear line. The detective's call, the meetings between Mai and the Sigma middleman before anything was official, the drafts routed through a personal account, the money sliding into a shell company 2 days before the collapse, his conversation with Mai in the parking lot, and the way she stepped around his questions. As he talked, the apartment didn't magically feel better, but it did feel more honest. The weight wasn't just sitting on his chest anymore. It was on the table between them, where both of them could see it. "Thank you for telling me," Tuna said when he'd finished. "I don't need you to act like everything is calm. I just need us to be in it together." Alex exhaled slowly. "I didn't want to dump all of this on you," he admitted. "I know you've got enough on your plate. I didn't want to turn your day into my mess." "You're not a weight, Alex," she replied, voice steady. "You're my person." They sat there with the envelope like it was a third presence at the table, quiet but undeniable. They didn't open it again. There was no need. They both knew what it contained. What mattered more was the decision they made in that moment. Whatever this turned into, legal fights, company fallout, personal betrayal, he wouldn't carry it alone, and she wouldn't stand back pretending not to see. Morning came sharp and clear, sunlight pushing in through the blinds. While Alex was finishing his first cup of coffee, his phone buzzed. It was the detective. "We've confirmed the meetings and traced the funds," the detective said. "Everything points through a shell account that moved money out 2 days before the collapse. I'll send a full report in about an hour." "Send it," Alex replied. After he hung up, he walked over to a small shelf and picked up a framed photo of Henry. He set it upright next to a plant on the table where the envelope had been the night before. Henry's grin, wide and full of uncomplicated joy, stared back at him. Alex looked at that smile and thought, if I stay quiet about this, what is he going to learn from me one day about what's okay and what isn't? He got dressed for work and headed into the office. Not because everything inside him felt stable, but because discipline was easier than spiraling. He went through his tasks on autopilot, answered emails, joined calls, skimmed over documents. By early afternoon, the detective's report came through. It was calm and clinical. No anger, no speculation, just dates, times, account numbers, and photos. The timeline lined up perfectly. Mai's meetings with the Sigma middleman, the drafts leaving her account, the transfers into a shell company, the exact point where everything at Alex's company started slipping out of place. Alex forwarded the file to his private email, then opened a new message to his lawyer. He kept it short and clear, reviewed the attached report, requested advice on next steps, and asked to keep the circle tight until they had everything doubly confirmed. No dramatic language, no accusations, just facts laid down in black and white. By 10 the next morning, the lobby felt like a quiet stage. Sunlight glazed the floor, security's chatter blurred into a low hum, and people moved between elevators and glass doors. Near the window, Tuna sat with her phone face down on her knee, posture relaxed but eyes clear. The elevator chimed. The doors slid open. Mai stepped out, hugging a folder to her chest. For a second, her expression was almost neutral. Then she spotted Tuna, and something in her face tightened. "Tuna," she said, stopping a few steps away. "You're here?" "I am," Tuna replied. "Can we talk for a bit?" Mai's gaze flicked toward reception, the exits, the people passing by pretending not to look. After a short pause, she nodded. Okay, a few minutes. They moved to a quieter corner near the glass wall, where the city looked both close and far, traffic flowing like another conversation beneath their own. Alex isn't guessing anymore, Tuna started, voice calm and low. He has photos of you meeting the Sigma middleman. He has dates. Transfers into a shell account 2 days before his company collapsed. This isn't a theory, Mai. It's a trail on paper. Mai's fingers tightened around the folder. So he thinks I sold him out, she asked. Is that what you think too? I think the facts say you were involved, Tuna answered. Why and how? That needs your words. I didn't come here to yell at you. I came to hear your truth before this goes somewhere you can't walk back from. Silence settled between them. It started small, Mai said at last, voice thin. He called it efficiency. Said if I sent early drafts from my personal account, it would help things move faster later. Just templates, he said. Everyone in this niche does it. I told myself it was harmless. Who is he? Tuna asked, even though she already knew. The Sigma middleman, Mai replied. At first he was polite. Then one day he mentioned my brother's debt, the exact number, like he just happened to learn it. After that, he sent a photo of my mother's shop at night, shutters down, street empty, treat. The message just said, late, huh? Nothing written as a threat, but it felt like one. And you told yourself you'd fix it later, Tuna said quietly. One draft, then one more, just until you could get out. Mai nodded, eyes glistening. I kept thinking I could step back before it turned serious. When I tried, his tone changed. He reminded me what I'd already done. Said if anyone saw it out of context, I'd look like the one cheating the company. Talked about consequences, about how deep I already was. Did they pay the debt? Tuna asked. Through a third party, Mai whispered. Nothing came straight into my account. I told myself it wasn't really for me, but it was. And the price wasn't just mine. She swallowed. I watched the numbers when Alex's company started dipping. I wanted to tell him. I was scared. Every day I told myself I'd stop, I'd speak up. I never did. Do you still have the conversations? Tuna asked. The chats, the transfer confirmations, anything that shows how he cornered you? Yes, Mai said. Not everything, but enough to follow it. Then you need to write it all down, Tuna told her. Today, no spin, no, but I meant well. Just what happened. If someone leaned on you, that line needs to be visible. If the damage stops with you, it has to be handled cleanly. But you don't get to keep Alex in the dark anymore. Mai lifted her head. There was no fire in Tuna's eyes, only steady honesty. You're not shouting, Mai said quietly. Shouting doesn't fix anything, Tuna replied. I'm not here to crush you. I'm here to stop you from hurting him any more than you already have. You crossed a line. The only choice you have left is how honest you're going to be about it. Mai drew in a breath and nodded. I'll send a statement, she said. Everything I have, dates, messages, payments.
We have to secure the funding by next week, or we won't be able to cover the operational costs.
Not shadows.
I genuinely don't know what we're going to do.
Give it to him. Upstairs, in his office, Alex stood by the window with his phone pressed to his ear while his lawyer's voice laid out the next move. The detective's report is strong, the lawyer said. You've got verified transfers, a shell account, and meetings that match the dates. If she was coerced, we need that documented in writing. No, she told me in the hallway. No emotional calls you might paraphrase later. Ask for a written statement, in her words. Once we have that, we open the internal process and, if needed, go further. So I asked her to put everything in writing, Alex said. No threats, no pressure, just a clear request. Exactly, the lawyer replied. You keep your replies factual, neutral. Let documents do the talking. Understood, Alex said, and ended the call. He stayed at the window a moment. The damage was still real, but there was a path now. Not easy, not short, but visible. 20 minutes later, an email appeared in his inbox. Subject: statement. He clicked it open. The message was stripped of drama. No long apology, no attempt to paint herself as a victim, just a timeline. She listed the meetings with the Sigma middleman, the first efficiency request, the message about her brother's debt, the photo of her mother's shop at night, the shift in tone when she tried to pull back, the third-party payment that cleared the debt, the final file she sent before the collapse. Screenshots were attached. Chat bubbles that looked harmless at a glance now read like a slow, tightening trap. Bank records traced money from his project into the sleeve company the detective had found. At the bottom, one simple line: I will cooperate fully and accept responsibility for my part in this. Alex didn't feel triumphant, just aware that the air in the room had finally moved. He forwarded the email to his lawyer with a short note. Her statement and attachments are enclosed. Coercion and involvement are described clearly. Please proceed with the plan we discussed. Then he printed everything and slid it into the envelope already holding the detective's report and the photos. Through the glass wall, he could see Mai at her desk, hands resting on the keyboard, eyes fixed on her screen. He walked over, not sneaking, not avoiding. Thank you for sending the statement, he said quietly. Mai looked up, eyes red but steady. I'm sorry, she whispered. Legal has it now, Alex replied. We're going to follow the trail beyond you and see where it leads. From here, we let the process work. That's the fairest thing left for everyone. She nodded, and he went back to his office, the envelope on his desk, and a clear line beginning to form between what had been done and what needed to happen next. The story follows Alex, a company leader whose project collapses after a sophisticated scam. Evidence shows money was funneled through a shell company tied to Sigma, and someone inside his circle helped make it happen. Under growing suspicion, Alex quietly investigates with a detective and his lawyer, while his partner, Tuna, stands by him as his emotional anchor. She confronts Mai, a colleague pressured through family debt to leak drafts and cooperate with the middleman. Mai finally confesses and sends a written statement, becoming a key witness instead of just a traitor. With documents, money trails, and testimonies aligned, Alex chooses a clean path: internal review, legal action, and no public drama. The script explores betrayal, coercion, responsibility, and how calm, steady support can turn chaos into a controlled fight for the truth. In the end, truth speaks quietly.